that's the stuff you hear your 75-year-old grandmother complain about after falling for the 13th time and breaking her hip. I was in my early 20s. Hi folks, it's Uranus from Brussels. Welcome to another video. Today we're talking about my bones and how I actually suffered from osteoporosis early in my 20s. So how the hell did that happen? Let's find out. Osteoporosis is a condition where your bones are weaker and more fragile. They can break more easily. Your bones are not a solid mass. They are actually a living organism and they contain this sponge-like tissue. When the health of your bone goes down, that mass and density of that sponge goes down, and it makes your bones more fragile for breaking. Normally, that's the stuff you hear your 75-year-old grandmother complain about after falling for the 13th time and breaking her hip. I was in my early 20s. I actually started to have issues with my bones as a teenager, but I never made the link and realized why. I was breaking stuff much more easily than the other kids my age. We're talking about arms, toes, fingers, wrists, and so on. I'm 18 years old on these pictures, by the way, and I still hadn't started puberty, and that would take another 7 years before that happened. But we'll get there in a minute. So it didn't take a lot of impact for me to actually break one of my bones, and I remember it like it was yesterday because I used to wake up at night with random pains in my legs, arms or lower back. I never really understood what the hell was going on, but I had this sharp pain in waves coming and going out of nowhere. It made me crazy because the pain always came out of nowhere, and sometimes I was wondering if it was all in my head or if it was actually happening. When I say out of nowhere, is that I didn't have any injury, I didn't fall or anything, and yet I still had this sharp, sudden pain that was waking me up. I had those pains at night for years, and it's only afterwards I realized why. It turns out I had severe osteoporosis, and when I did a density scan when I was 26 years old in my hospital, the doctors told me my bones were actually 50 years older than they were supposed to be. Well, the health of my bones was really bad. I opened up to my doctor, my endocrinologist, about some of the pains I had in the past in my body, and she said, okay, we're gonna look at the health of your bones, and they put me in this type of X-ray machines where they measure the density of your bones in certain key points like your lower spine, and my results were really bad. And this was 1 year after starting HRT, so I was already on the proper hormones for 1 entire year. So probably if I had taken that density scan before, it would have been even worse. But like I said, at some point you start to imagine that these things are in your head and the pain becomes like normality. The health of your bones depends majorly on two sexual hormones, estrogen and testosterone. Estrogen in particular is extremely important for the health of your bones. You're probably thinking, estrogen, well, that's only for women, right? You're completely wrong. Men also need healthy levels of estrogen for well-being, hair, libido, and for the health of our bones. Women produce their own estrogen through their ovaries, and men produce large amounts of testosterone, who are then converted, a very small part of that is converted into estrogen, and trust me, that estrogen is crucial. Without testosterone, we don't have any conversion to estrogen possible, so like I said, I was without these crucial hormones for years, and my bones suffered because of that. So my bones deteriorated a lot because up until I was 25 years old and started HRT, I did not have any estrogen or testosterone in my body. But now I have been on treatment for just about 8 years, and I have never felt that pain again, and I couldn't be more happier about that because that pain was actually really fucked up now that I'm thinking back about it. It was like really these sharp pains, and really it felt awkward because it wasn't like when you're falling or you're injuring yourself in the gym, you feel the pain more on the outside. Here, I was waking up at night with pain coming from inside of my limbs, and that pain was actually really fucked up. Just thinking about it is making me sweat, man. I never told anyone back in those days because let's just say my mental health back then wasn't the best, and I actually thought I deserved that shit, or it was happening in my head. So yeah, things were a bit messed up back then, but luckily with a couple of shots, well, 8 years worth of shots, things are much better now. Anyway, this was my story. As a man, if you have suffered from low testosterone for a long duration, be sure to check out the health of your bones. I was given a lot of supplements to fortify my bones, and now I have enough testosterone in my body for 2 healthy males, so things are much better. Alright, I hope you liked the video. Leave me a comment to support the channel. Subscribe if you like my content. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Uranus out.